Okay guys, welcome back. This is the second part of day 4 notes. Example 3 here, I'm not going to take time to go over this. You can look at the notes in Schoology. Very simply, y1, y2, second calc intersect, list the points, then list the x values. What I want to talk about is this last example here, creating a polynomial function with the given information. So basically you're going to be given the roots and you kind of need to come up with the factors of the polynomial function. So it's quite easy to do. You guys have been around long enough. You remember from Algebra 1 that if you know the roots are plus or minus 2, the factors will be x plus 2 and x minus 2. And if the root is x equals 3, the factor is going to be x minus 3. That's it. We're done. If you really wanted to, you could use your multiplication skills. You could multiply that out, put it in standard form, but not necessary. There's a polynomial function that has those roots. All right, for our next example, roots x equals 2, x equals 0, x equals negative 3, and a reflection over the x-axis. Well, that simply means it's going to start off with a negative. So again, polynomial function. So we've got p of x. Our roots are x equals 2, x equals 0, x equals negative 3. So that means this must have come from the factor x minus 2. X equals 0, I mean, you can write x minus 0, but it's just going to be an x as a GCF, and then this factor is going to be x plus 3. So we need to start with a negative. X minus 0, just x, and then we've got x minus 2 times x plus 3. And again, there's your polynomial. It's really that simple. All right, the last one we're going to do is a little bit interesting. I think you can see here, x equals 0, well, that's going to be easy. P of x equals, that's just going to be x minus 0 or an x. X equals 4, if that's the root, the factor is going to be x minus 4. But here's where it gets interesting. X equals plus or minus 2i. Well, how do you come up with a factor for that? Well, if you think about this, x equals plus or minus 2i, and we work backwards. That must have meant we had x squared equals negative 4. Because if we take the square root, that gives me plus or minus 2i. Okay, well, if x squared equals a negative 4, that means x squared plus 4 has to equal 0. And if x squared plus 4 equals 0, that means the factor for this is x squared plus 4. So that's how you would get that particular factor. And a little hint here, anytime you have an I involved as one of your roots, the factor has to be x squared plus a number. Because then to solve that, you'd have to subtract the number and take the square root, and you'd always end up taking the square root of a negative. All right, so very briefly, that's the last part of day 4. We're moving on to day 5. As usual, please do the associated homework with this and check all your answer keys on my Schoology page. Thanks.